Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. A powerful blast near the Red Fort on the 11th claimed 12 innocent lives and injured 21 people. The investigation tracing links from Pulwama to Faridabad and then the national capital is unraveling the conspiracy. Over the past 24 hours, security forces have conducted interrogations, raids and arrests. Key CCTV footage from near the blast site have also been analysed, providing crucial leads. Hello and welcome to this episode of NewsX Deep Dive. My name is Vineet Malhotra and today I will take you through the top 8 developments in the case. Well, development number 1. 2 new CCTV videos have surfaced. One reportedly captured before the blast and another that captures the explosion itself. Let's take a look at the first footage. Well, this CCTV footage from Faridabad's Sector 37 shows a terrorist Umar, accompanied by his associate, suspected to be Tariq, carrying a backpack. As you may recall, Tariq was arrested by the Jammu and Kashmir police in Pulwama's Sambura area, where he reportedly admitted to handing over a car to Umair. In the footage, both individuals are seen walking between 3 cars in dense fog. Meanwhile, this 15-second clip shows a congested area near the Red Fort metro station. Dozens of cars are seen moving slowly. In a few minutes, a huge ball of fire can be seen at the spot, as the I-20 car, now believed to be the source of the explosion, rips through the area. The Delhi police has confirmed that Dr. Muzammil Shakil, one of the key suspects arrested in connection with the white-collar terror module, conducted several reconnaissance missions of the Red Fort area in January this year. The development came after the police analysed his mobile dump data, adding that they suspect the recce were a part of a larger conspiracy to target the monument on the 26th of January, which might have failed during the intense patrolling at that time. In development number 3, we have obtained a crucial document that reveals the Royal Car Zone, the car dealer that was contacted through OLX. A person named Amir Rashid, a resident of Pulwama, purchased the car on the 29th of October. Notably, 2 individuals reportedly visited the purchase and got the car, but the identity of the second person remains unknown. The car was subsequently handed over to Umair. Development number 4. Police teams have launched a massive manhunt for a red Ford EcoSport believed to have been used in the Red Fort blast, which claimed at least 12 lives. This vehicle in question bears the registration number DL10 CK0458 and is registered to Unar Unnabi, also known as Umair, who was listed as the second car owner of the vehicle. The car was registered at the Rajouri Garden RTO in Delhi on the 22nd of November 2017. Investigations have also revealed that Umar used a fake address in northeast Delhi to purchase the vehicle, prompting police to raid that location late at night. The whereabouts of this vehicle remain unknown. Development number 5. 2 days after the deadly car explosion, the post-mortem report has revealed chilling new details about the blast's devastating impact. The initial findings indicate that the victims suffered severe injuries, including multiple fractures, head trauma and internal organ damage. The blast caused extensive damage to the lungs, ears and abdominal organs and resulted in ruptured eardrums, lungs and intestine, pointing to the intensity of the blast. Development number 6. In a big gesture of reassurance, Prime Minister Modi met the victims of the Red Fort blast at the LNJP hospital. Immediately after landing from Bhutan, he wished them a speedy recovery and has chaired a cabinet committee on security meeting at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. As the investigation and deliberations go on, the Prime Minister has made one thing sound and clear, that those behind the conspiracy will be brought to justice. Development number 7. A joint team of the Uttar Pradesh and Anti-Terrorism Squad has recovered 6 mobile phones, 3 knives, an international calling card and other digital devices from the house of Parvez Ansari, brother of Dr. Shaheen Shahid, who was arrested over her involvement with the JEM-linked white-collar Faridabad terror module. Ansari, who was posted as a senior resident doctor at the Integral University in Lucknow, tried to flee after Shaheen was arrested on the night of the blast. He, however, was detained and is currently being questioned. Development number 8. The Al Falah University in Haryana's Faridabad district, which made headlines after 2 doctors working there became key suspects in the Delhi blast, has issued a lengthy statement. They have called the blast unfortunate and condemned it, further adding that the university has no connection with the said persons apart from them working in their official capacities with the university. The two doctors in question are Dr. Muzammil Shakil, who had rented a room in Dhauj, Faridabad, where authorities found 2,900 kilograms of ammonium nitrate, 84 cartridges, and AK-47 rifles. The other doctor, Dr. Shaheen Shahid, is suspected of providing logistical and transportation support to orchestrate the blast. Well, India is rapidly conducting investigations, interrogations not just in Delhi but across the country. This terror nexus in the bud. What's been the progress of the investigation? We take this conversation forward with our guest now. Mr. Yashovardhan Jha Azad, former Deputy Chief of IB, is with us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Mr. Jha, thank you, sir, for taking out the time and speaking to us. So first up, what does this tell you about the evolving nature of the intricacies of terrorism that are supposedly flourishing in our country? You know, they are educated, doctor-level people who are involved in figuring out how to orchestrate a terror attack in India. What does that mean for the intelligence? What does that also mean for the intelligence failure that can be attributed to this attack?
Well, two parts of your question. One, of course, it's the biggest challenge to the security agencies when you have an educated module like this. Let me remind you, however, that this is not the first time. The ISIS was also recruiting, luring educated people through the internet. And if you recall, from Kerala, a lot of educated students and people had gone abroad, and some of them died in the battlefields of the ISIS, and quite a few of them ran back out of fear. And when they came back during the interrogation, they revealed how they were lured or trapped by the various messages on the internet and a kind of an indoctrination program also. In this particular case also, the module is very, very sinister. There's no doubt about it, because it has a gang of educated doctors who are not only traitors to the nations, but traitors to their own, profession. And the radicalization in these cases, as the police has discovered, is from that Maulvi who's in J&K, and there is another one who's been traced in UP. But this is a regular indoctrination program which has gotten its net these doctors. Now the biggest issue here is that you would recall that these two doctors who were involved, there are two of them who have been dismissed. One was dismissed under Article 311 from this university itself. Yes, it's true that their activities should have been watched if they were involved in these kind of messages. And the other thing is also that from Faridabad, after the recoveries were made, when this Dr. Omar was in his vehicle was getting out, he drove 60 kilometers into Delhi without any Naka or checkposts being able to check him, whereas it was expected that there would have been an alert, given throughout. And also in Delhi, when this car was loitering around for so many hours, maybe a smart AI-enabled a smart control room should have caught this vehicle, because it's very difficult otherwise to say that, if a car is filled with ammonium nitrate, that it should be intercepted, because there is nothing, by way of which that you get a signal that this car is packed with ammonium nitrate. As far as the intelligence failure is concerned, let me bring to your attention that 15 years Delhi was safe. And in this period, there were many attacks planned by the terrorist groups, which the intelligence agencies don't tell us, but they were, neutralized. So there is something of this kind. When it builds up, it may slip through the cracks. You can call it intelligence failure, but one thing I will always say, that the fight against terrorism is a long one. It's a long and arduous one, and it keeps coming up. The sleeper cells are there. They keep evolving. They keep getting, activated. And see, in these two cases, I think these two people had gone to Turkey also, and they had come back, and that is how this planning had taken place. So I would say yes, definitely slip, crack through the slip or slip through the crack, but by and large, it's an excellent discovery, because, and thanks to that SHO or the officer in J&K who got it through those postering on the CCTV, and the entire information was divulged with him, which has led to this network. This will lead to a tremendous number of linkages, and it is just the beginning right now. So we have
Right,
to
sir.
wait and see.
So, what does this also mean, for what happened, during Operation Sindoor? Obviously, JEM keeps coming up when you talk about this terror module as people who are perhaps mentors to these orchestrators in our country. How does that ecosystem now get affected? Because Operation Sindoor, like the Prime Minister said, that even when it concluded, it is still on. If Pakistan's hand is found, what do we do then? What happens then?
Well, that's again, you're raising a very, very sensitive issue, and rightly so, because ultimately it all leads there, right? As far as one thing I forgot to point out, if you see this car bomb attack, it's not a question whether it's accidental or whether it's not accidental. Yes, you said there were, 2 or 3 people who were found at that particular place. So one of the things which the investigative agencies would like to find out is was the guy alone? If it's a guy was alone, then maybe he triggered it himself out of panic or whatever. If 3 people were there, then obviously it was accidental, because you don't need 3 people to, do a suicide kind of an attack. In this particular case, the question is that first you have to get through a series of arrests. For example, the couriers, the runners, the sellers, there'll be chemical signature on that. So a lot of work has to be done. Then you come to the handlers. Then you come to those, encrypted messages from the mobiles. Then you come to cryptocurrency, or whether it was made payment through that because the handlers were Turkey. Only after doing that, you will say that this has the stamp of JEM. Yes, one thing is true. If you remember, it was the JEM which had crashed the bomb vehicle into J&K Assembly in October 2001. So the question is, I would say that the response this time has been very mature, not only from the government, but also from the opposition. See, there is no, shouting from any side that this is this group or this is that country, and neither is there a massive criticism. So let's go through this part, and then we are tested, tried, proven evidence, then we lay the blame. And then, yes, then you have to make a decision as to what should we do about it. Should we go for this source? But let's convince the world with the evidence, with everything.
Absolutely.
That's the right way to do.
Absolutely. So I agree with you. That is the right way to do. We need to be very circumspect when it comes to initiating any kind of a culpability associated with these terror attacks. Thank you so much, sir, for your insights and your perspective. Appreciate it. We take a short break now. Be right back.